All right, very excited to show this off. This is my completed Alpha Fighter model. It comes from the GoBots Leader-1 model kit version released in the States in the mid-'80s. So taking a look at it, I went with a nice red color scheme. I had a lot of, had a lot of red paint left over from doing the Cyclone, and I found a good place to use it. You can see he's a pretty good looking Alpha Fighter. I mean, really well detailed, very sleek looking. I don't know if that comes across exactly, but I mean, you know, it's one thing I've always loved about this design. There really isn't much, you know, kibble on the bottom that really breaks the lines of the jet. The wings are a little stubby, but still, the profile is very, very aerodynamic. Really cool looking. Die cast in all the landing gear. The little tire is rubber, so that's a really nice detail. And all the pieces, everything is held up really well over the you know, 20 some odd years that this thing's been sitting in a box. I didn't really have any problems. The decal sheets even were cooperative, and I only lost a couple, and really it was my own fault. The canopy here, now it's not designed to be removable, but it's got this little guy that you're supposed to glue into place. You can see he's a little Cyclone rider. I painted him up in the Lancer colors. Yeah, I got to take care of that little blue smudge, but anyway, I think he looks pretty good. And he sits in here, and then there's a control stick. But this all has to be glued together. And I wanted to at least show the cockpit area, you know, in some detail, because it's really amazing how much they molded. It's not necessarily going to come across on this. I'm going to take some pictures and cut those in at various points during this to accentuate. One thing you can see is that little clear heads-up display, which is a really nice touch. And you know, there's all kinds of buttons and switches and levers and all kinds of things that you'd see them operating in the anime. But yeah, I really like the heads-up display. And on the canopy, it actually has a, let's see, nah, you're not going to be able to read them, but the little arrows, they say rescue, just like on a authentic airplane canopy, showing, hey, you know, if this thing crashed and you were taking them out. But yeah, so I'll leave that aside. But that will be glued on eventually, and I'll put them in place. The other thing that's detachable, here's his gun. Just the classic, I think they call it the GU-XX gun pod. This little tab that fits into a slot on the back of the missile pod. That way you can have it there during plane mode, take it off, and then there's another clip that you can put on for, it's like a banana clip for robot mode. But, you know, and I guess I'll show that off in robot mode, but anyway, it doesn't look bad like this. On this missile pod, and I don't know how well this is going to work. I may have to get tweezers, but two of these missiles are actually removable. They don't fire, they don't do anything exciting except disappear, but you can see that. Just a tiny little cylinder, little, you know, dot on the back, I guess is a thruster. Anyway, I don't know, but it allows you to remove these missiles. For what purpose you'd want to do that, I don't know. Let me set that aside. But yeah, so you can take out two of those missiles. Let's see here. Speaking of missiles, it's got these missile pods that flip open. So you can see he's packing a lot of heat right there. Pretty cool. Flip those closed. One thing that sucks, though, is that on mine, I'm missing this piece for this side. Look through all the sprues, and it's it's just not there. I see the spot for it, but mine is missing. So it looks like a manufacturing error that happened, 27 years ago or whatever. I'll probably have to craft something to kind of fill that in because it does bother me. It's just a hole, ruins the aesthetic of what's a jet. And I mean, they do have, I don't know if you can really tell, but there are silver vent pieces in here. Really fun kit to build. If you're into these types of mecha, I would definitely do it because it kind of gives you some insight into the way that things like these shoulder joints work, the legs, some of the mechanics, how you have to work it so that it can actually transform physically. So that's our look at the plane mode for this guy. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you'll meet me in part 2. If not, thanks for checking it out, and highly recommend getting this vintage model kit should you come across it. All right, everybody, take care.